The floorboards in my bedroom have learned my weight so well that they no longer creak when I rise. At 102 years old, even the house knows me better than most people do. I woke before the sun this morning, the way I always do. When you live this long, sleep stops holding you the way it once did. It loosens its grip, like it knows you don't belong fully in this world anymore. I sat up slowly, my hands resting on my lap, and I felt it again. That old feeling, not pain, not fear, but something heavier, something I have carried for 68 years. A lie. I didn't mean for it to become a lie. At the time, it felt like protection. It felt like love. But love and lies, they often wear the same face in the beginning. My son Daniel was 12 years old when it happened. He had his father's eyes. Calm, trusting, the kind of eyes that believed the world was a safe place. His father, my husband Thomas, was a quiet man. He didn't talk much, but when he did, his words stayed with you. He worked with his hands, built things, fixed things. He made people feel like nothing was beyond repair, until the day he couldn't repair himself. It was October. I remember because the leaves had just started falling, and Daniel had been collecting them in his pockets to show me. Thomas left that morning like he always did. He kissed my forehead. He told Daniel, "Be good for your mama." And he walked out the door. That was the last time we saw him alive. They said it was an accident. A fall at the construction site. Quick. Instant. No suffering. That's what they told me. That's what I told Daniel. But it wasn't the truth. The truth came to me 3 days later. A man in a gray coat knocked on my door. He held his hat in his hands and couldn't look me in the eyes. He told me Thomas hadn't fallen. He had stepped forward, on purpose. My heart didn't break. It disappeared. He told me Thomas had been struggling, quietly, alone. He told me there had been signs, but I hadn't seen them, or maybe I hadn't wanted to. He told me there would be no investigation, no questions, just silence. When the man left, I sat at the kitchen table for hours. The clock ticked like nothing had changed, but everything had. My husband hadn't been taken from me. He had left me, and worse, he had left his son. Daniel came into the kitchen that evening and asked me the question that would change everything. Why did Daddy fall? His voice was small, fragile. He trusted me to give him something he could live with. And I had a choice. I could give him the truth, or I could give him peace. And I chose peace. I told him it was an accident. I told him his father didn't mean to leave. I told him his father loved him more than anything. Daniel cried in my arms. And I told myself I had done the right thing. But lies don't stay quiet inside you. They grow. They age with you. They wait. Daniel grew into a man shaped by that story. He admired his father. He spoke of him with pride. He followed in his footsteps. He became a builder. He said it made him feel close to him. Every time he said that, something inside me twisted. because he didn't know. He didn't know his father hadn't been strong at the end. He didn't know his father had been tired. He didn't know his father had chosen to leave. And I didn't know which truth would have hurt him more, the real one, or the one I gave him. Years passed. Daniel married, had children. He became a good man, a kind man, a present man. Everything his father had been. Everything his father hadn't been at the end. Sometimes I would watch him with his own son, laughing, teaching, staying, and I would wonder, did my lie save him, or did it steal something from him? Thomas left no letter, no explanation, just questions, and I buried those questions with him because I was afraid that if Daniel knew, he would feel abandoned, afraid he would wonder if he wasn't enough, afraid he would carry that weight the way I did. No child should carry that. So I carried it for him. Years turned into decades. Thomas became a memory, then a story, then almost a stranger. But the lie never became smaller. It stayed the same size. Waiting. Daniel is 78 now. His hair is white. His hands are worn. He looks more like his father every day. Sometimes, when he sits across from me, I forget who I'm looking at. And that scares me, because time is running out. Not his. Mine. I see it in the way people look at me, in the careful way they speak, in the way they say goodbye like it might be the last time. And I know it will be soon. I don't fear death. Not anymore. What I fear is leaving with the lie still inside me, because lies don't die with you. They echo. They leave behind a version of the world that never existed. I wanted to protect him, but maybe he deserved the truth, even if it hurt, especially if it hurt. Last week, Daniel visited me. He brought me soup. He always brings me soup. He sat in that old chair by my window, the one Thomas built. We talked about nothing. Weather, birds, his grandchildren, safe things. But then he said something that stopped my heart. He said, I hope I've been as strong as Dad was. I couldn't breathe. Strong. That's what he believed. That's what I had taught him. I smiled. I nodded. And I hated myself for it, because strength doesn't always look like staying. Sometimes strength looks like surviving after someone leaves you. And Daniel had done that, without ever knowing. After he left, I sat in the silence of this house, and I realized something. The lie had protected the boy, but what about the man? Did he still need protection? Or did he deserve honesty? Even now, even this late, especially this late. I have lived long enough to know one thing. Truth doesn't stop hurting just because time passes. But lies, they stop you from ever healing. I don't know if telling him now will bring him peace. I don't know if it will bring him pain. But I know this. He deserves the choice. And I don't have forever. When you're young, you think love means protecting people from pain. When you're old, you realize love means trusting them with the truth. Even when your hands are shaking, even when your voice trembles, even when it might change the way they see everything, especially the way they see you. I look at Thomas's photograph every morning. I don't hate him. Not anymore. I see a man who is hurting. A man who didn't know how to stay. A man who loved us, but not enough to remain. And I see myself, a woman who loved her son so much. She lied to him. I don't know if he'll forgive me. I don't know if he'll understand. But I know I can't leave this world with silence as my final gift to him, because silence is just another kind of lie. If you are listening to me now, wherever you are, don't wait as long as I did. Don't let fear decide what love should sound like. Speak the truth while your voice still belongs to you, because one day it won't. And the heaviest thing you will carry is not the truth you told. It's the truth you didn't.